In this video, we're going to be explaining why Shopify split banners actually help improve conversion rates. So in the last video, you might have seen, we talked about what is a Shopify split banner, what's the purpose, how does it help, what does it do, etc. Well, in this video, like I said, we're going to talk about how it actually improves the conversion rate of your Shopify store. So basically, we know what a Shopify split banner is by now. If you haven't seen the last video, go ahead and see it. Shopify split banner separates the different categories from a visual standpoint or a visual field to consumers of the categories of that specific store. So for example, if I'm selling men's and women's clothing, well, what are the two main categories of the store? It's men and women's clothing. So I would create a two-way split banner separating the men's clothing from the women's clothing, and it would be in a visual field kind of like this. What you're seeing is an example of a three-way split banner as opposed to a two-way split banner. Every theme is different. How they set them up are different. Not all themes incorporate this feature. Right now I'm using the Wolf of Shopify theme that does include this feature. Well, now let's go ahead and talk. And by the way, for anybody who wants to know, wolfofshopify.com, Wolf of Shopify 3.0, this is the theme that we're talking about. Now, let's go ahead and talk about how does that actually improve a conversion rate? Well, you got to remember one of the things that consumers do when they visit your website, either they are just curious or they're interested. Now, there's a very big difference between the two. Curiosity is just simply, let's see what's on this website, right? It's not saying I'm going to purchase. It's not saying I'm showing interest in a product. Just simply, I want to see what's going on. It doesn't mean that there's actual buyer intent. Interest, however, does kind of lead to the premonition that there may be buyer intent. Now, what is buyer intent? It simply means that a consumer has the desire to end up purchasing a product, but certain objections must be fulfilled. For example, if you're on a website where you want to buy a pair of sneakers, but you have certain questions about these certain sneakers, as long as those questions turn out fine and your questions are answered, you end up buying those sneakers. Meaning, like, for example, do they have the right size? Do they have the right material for the sneakers? Are they comfortable enough? Has anybody in their head, has said that they're not comfortable? Has anybody had a bad experience with customer service? Any one of these questions, right? Well, all the times when consumers come to your website, it's very, very rare that they're not going to have any objections or questions or things that they want to raise, right, before they purchase a product. That's why conversion rates typically land at about 1%. Majority of sellers cannot or don't have the ability to properly tell consumers what are their questions, because what they do is they increase something called friction. Now, what is friction? Friction just simply means if I'm a consumer and I'm interested in a product, you are making it harder for me. You're adding more friction by adding more buttons, more things on the page, etc. that will essentially take me away from the main goal at hand, which is to purchase the product. Now, what these split banners do is, very simply put, they decrease friction. See, when consumers come to your website, they are generally interested, at least the ones who have who are interested in buying, they're generally interested in a particular product which is set in a particular category. And they're very aware of this. If I go to Nike.com, I know that the only thing I'm interested in buying is a pair of sneakers. I don't want to look at pants. I don't want to look at hoodies. I don't want to look at t-shirts. I know what I want. The same way consumers come to your website, they know what they want, especially if you did the marketing correctly. Now remember, there's only two aspects to every single business to increase conversion rates. Two things you can control. The first thing you can control is the traffic, and the second thing you can control is what you're presenting on the website. Hence, the whole picking the right theme, everything like that. Well, aside from that, when we talk about conversion rates and conversion optimization, we're talking about reducing friction. Like I said, if a consumer is interested, 99% of the time, they're not 100% certain they're ready to buy. They might be 50%, 40%, 20%, etc. In fact, this is why impulse buys work so well at the grocery store, at any kind of drugstore, convenience store. When they put products right in front of that cash register, it's very easy for a consumer to say, "Oh, give me this and I'll buy this too." It's an impulse buy. Well, not that we're trying to fool our consumers, but what we are trying to do is reduce friction. So once again, a consumer comes to your website, they have a certain interest in mind. They have a certain idea of what product they want to buy. It shouldn't take them too long to scroll, and they should find exactly the split banners that they should be looking at that exemplifies the product. Well, let's say a consumer comes and sees an ad on, let's say, a sports bra, right? She's looking, she doesn't see the product right away, and then she looks in the split banner category that says tops. Well, then what will she do? She'll click on tops, and she'll look for that specific sports bra. See, it reduces friction. But if she has to look through every link and every product, eventually the consumer is going to say, you know what? I give up. I'm out of here. Because the reality is majority of stores have more than just 4, 5, 6, or 10 products. They have more than that. So it will take the consumer a long time to look through all these different products. They'll just give up and they'll just go somewhere else. That's what the whole point of a split banner is for. It reduces consumer friction, thereby increasing conversion rates for the store, increasing the amount of money, etc. So conversion rates go up as friction goes down. That's something to memorize. It's a golden rule. Friction leads to decrease in conversion rates. So more friction, less conversion rates. Higher conversion rates means less friction. Make things as easy as possible for consumers to eventually check in and check out. That's basically how it works. Now, this theme that I'm using is the Wolf of Shopify theme. And just simply put, we set up our split banners through this grid builder here. We can take away or remove any banner. We can increase the column size of each banner, as you guys can see. We did this in the last video. So here we have a two-way split banner now, right, that are perfectly the same size. And prior we had three-way split banner. So if I refresh this page and without saving like the current settings, we're going to take a look at our three-way split banner. So whatever store you have, whether you're going to go with a two-way or a three-way, just remember that you want to be able to segment your products in the most clear and concise way possible. In this case, all the women's products are being sold on this website, so we separated them tops, bottoms, accessories, right? If it was just women's and men's products, we wouldn't create 17 different ideas of categories. We'd create 2 categories. We'd create men's and women's, okay? So just simply put, that's how they improve conversion rates, okay? See ya. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.